Alright, so one day in like June or July, I don't remember exactly. I do remember it was on a Friday though, because I remember wanting to go home and just play Minecraft that day on my PS3 with my brother. I could only play games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because I had a bit of an addiction to my PS3 when I was little, so that's why I could only play on those 3 days. But anyways, back to the story. That Friday morning, I woke up, got dressed, and went to school just like I did every day. I was feeling fine, and most of the day I was feeling fine. That was until like 1 hour before school ended. I had the urge to go to the bathroom, so I asked if I could go. The teacher let me, so I started down the hallway towards the bathroom. Which, by the way, if you've ever been to schools, God, going to the bathroom is the worst feeling in public school. God, it's just embarrassing. But anyways, along the way, I started feeling very nauseous, like felt like I had to throw up. And as I got to the bathroom, I sat down and tried to go, but I just couldn't. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't. I just couldn't. It felt like a blockage almost. So and then the more I tried to go, the more nauseous I got. So that was not helping at all. So I eventually, stupidly, just went back to class. Didn't tell the teacher. So I should blame myself a little bit. I was kind of responsible. But anyways, for the rest of the class, I was feeling like shit. Like, I just wanted to go home. I was not feeling good at all. And my stomach was cramping. I had the constant feeling of needing to go to the bathroom. I was constantly feeling nauseous and wanting to throw up. I just wanted to go home. So, now that I really think about it, I really, really should have told the teacher. Like, I don't know why I waited so long. Anyways, after class, I was walking down the hallway towards the bus ramp because, unlike high school, when you're in I don't know if y'all know this, but I don't know how old or young y'all are, but, and I don't know what's changed since the last time I've been in public school, because the last time I was in public school was 7 years ago. I'm homeschooled now, so I don't know what's changed. But anyways, in elementary school, you had one class. You had one little room that you would stay in for the entire day. And then after the day, you would walk to the bus ramp, and that's where you would get on your bus to leave. So anyways, as I was walking down the hallway towards the bus ramp, the entire way, I felt like shit. I was constantly feeling just this terrible feeling. I was feeling dizzy. My legs started feeling weak. As I got on the bus, I asked my bus driver, who, by the way, oh my god, this bus driver was a saint, bro. I don't know who, I can't remember her name. I think it was Miss Jones, but she was awesome. I asked her if I could sit alone, and she let me. She actually, she told all the kids that I wanted to sit alone, and I was able to sit alone, so that was really cool. I fucking love that bus driver. The bus ride was torture, though. Still felt sick, was cramping, dizzy, but now I had the added effect of summer weather. Fucking melting. On top of all that shitty feelings, it was hot, and that made it 10 times worse. I don't know how I didn't throw up, genuinely. It's been at least 3 hours now since the first onset of the symptoms. So anyways, eventually I got off the bus at my house and went inside and went straight to the bath toilet. And I still couldn't go. Tried to go but couldn't. Was feeling even worse now. This is when I eventually started crying. Full-on tears, sobbing, and screaming in pain. I used to live with my grandmother, so she was the first one who asked me what was wrong, and I said my stomach was hurting. My mother was at work during this time. She was working. So I had to wait till she got home because my grandmother couldn't drive, so I had to wait till my mom got home to take me to the hospital. And that was torture because I was feeling sick the entire time. Long story short, I ended up going to the hospital that night. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And even more long story short, I had a bowel obstruction caused by an impacted stool from not going to the bathroom. Clap that one up. Up until this point, I had been healthy, going to the bathroom normally, so this was very surprising. I spent pretty much 8 to 9 hours in the hospital that night. Now you might be asking, why am I telling this story? I'm a Geometry Dash YouTuber. This is pretty random. And you would be right. But that's because this is the start of my gut problems. After this hospital visit, I was not getting better. I would go weeks with normal bowel movements, and then after that, constipation that would make me cry and put me in the hospital again. It was not fun. Luckily, I had Miralax. And if you've never had Miralax before, oh my god, is it a saint. It would prevent me from going to the hospital a lot of the times because, you just pour some of that powder solution into some water or juice, drink that bad boy, and you're shit in fucking water. I mean, straight fucking liquid. Serious note aside, I would miss a lot of school because I was just in so much pain and I didn't want to go because of my stomach's hurting. I actually missed school so much that my mother started getting calls from my school. Whenever I had to go to school, I got stressed. It's the truth. That doctor said this is what led to that constipation. Were they right? Kind of. I mean, kind of. Anyways, I had many tests done after this point. Just to name a few. Colonoscopy, which is a procedure where they put a camera up your asshole and look inside your colon. Sometimes the end of the small intestine, but that's too much information. And what do you think? That test came back with everything looking clear. Good sign. No abnormal growths. No inflammation in the lining of the intestines. This ruled out quite a few, serious things like IBD and colon cancer. Although, no one was worried about cancer because I was 6 fucking years old. But my little child brain deaf worried about it. Then they did a stool test. That came back clear too. They did this really weird toilet test, which was actually pretty cool though. It's basically you take a little capsule, and inside this capsule there's I think it's 20 or 50 different rings, small rings that can be detected on X-rays. And you would swallow the capsule and the rings would disperse into your GI tract. And then on day 5, I believe, they would do X-rays to see how many rings are still in your intestines. This would check to see how fast or slow food moves through the intestines. This could mobility. So if there were still rings left, that could mean your intestines just are slower. If there's no rings left, that could mean your intestines are just super fast, and that could cause diarrhea. So yeah, that test was actually pretty cool. It was also really invasive. Anyways, the last test I did was a barium swallow test, and this test fucking sucked ass. This was the worst one, and not even because it was just, I get nightmares thinking about the taste of that stuff. Oh my god. So basically, for this one, they make you lay on an X-ray table, and then every few seconds you take a sip from a solution called barium, I think, which tastes like shit, utter shit. I can't count the amount of times I almost threw up on those poor people and nurses. They try to make it taste better by mixing a drink in with it. I'm pretty sure I mixed mine with apple juice. You can mix it with a whole bunch of other juices though. I just chose apple. It still tastes like shit though. It does not help at all. But this test checks the upper GI tract, the pharynx and stomach and esophagus. Anyways, that test came back normal too. So, surprise, surprise. Anyways, what now? That was the question. What now? Well, since all the scary stuff was ruled out, IBD, cancer, ulcers, they could only really say one thing. I had IBS. Alright, so what is IBS? Because I've said that quite a bit in past streams and stuff, past Yandere streams or Geometry Dash streams or Roblox streams. If I get anything wrong, please tell me in the comments, because I don't want to spread misinformation. But what I've learned from my experience is IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome, is a very common gastrointestinal disorder, which is a non-dysfunctional GI tract disorder. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means, unlike IBD, it doesn't cause any physical changes or permanent damage to the intestines. It simply causes irritation to the lining of the intestines. This causes mild to severe abdominal pain, bloating, incomplete evacuation, backache, bladder problems, nausea, fatigue, and or both constipation, diarrhea. And it fucking sucks. Now, I'm sure there's probably more symptoms, but that's just the ones I can name off the top of my head. Sometimes you can go days without feeling bad and having normal bowel movements, and then the next you can't go, or the day after you can't stop going. And then sometimes you have like both. Can't go and can't stop going. Well, what causes it? That's the biggest question. What causes it? Well, that's the sad truth. Doctors don't really know. They have ideas like gut bacteria imbalance, infections, or abnormal gut motility, which is my biggest. I think that's like the most common. I think that's probably like the biggest theory. But anyways, it's also linked to the brain and gut relationship. If you didn't know, the gut is lined with over 100 million nerve cells that directly communicate to the brain through the vagus nerve in rapid signals of under 100 milliseconds. That's ludicrous. If you're stressed, symptoms can worsen. If you're anxious, symptoms can worsen or start. This disorder affects 1 in 10 people. 1 in 3 of those affects males. It is more common in female, which is, a lot of things are more common in female for some reason, but it's also more common in people older than 50, but I'm pretty sure that might just be because, actually no, that's a good question. Why is it more common in people older than 50? Anyways, about 15% of the population suffers from IBS, which is kind of crazy. I'm just pulling this out of like Wikipedia and Britannica. Chances, actually, there's a pretty big chance that one of you watching has this disorder, and I feel bad. It kind of sucks. Alright, so the real question is, how does IBS affect me? I personally have IBSD. This means when I have flare-ups, I have diarrhea. This is accompanied by severe or mild abdominal pain and cramping, sometimes so bad I cry. It's also accompanied by fatigue and backache. However, sometimes I do have IBS-C where I can't go to the bathroom no matter what I do, and when I first started having gut problems, it was IBS-C. As I said at the very beginning of the story, I went to the hospital the very first time when I was 7 because I couldn't go. And I had a bowel obstruction from an impacted stool. So I do sometimes get IBS-C, but it's more common for me to get IBS-D. And whenever I do get IBS-C, it is the worst one because that usually leads me going to the hospital. I have gone to the hospital multiple times for that. Anyways, why am I even telling you guys this? That's probably the biggest question. I just feel like I owe you an explanation because there's a lot of the times where I just up and leave. I take 2-week to 4-week breaks and I just don't communicate. I feel like y'all should know the truth. Communication is key. What does Corey Kenshin say? Communication is key. What does he still not do? Communication. Just kidding, Corey, I love you. If you're watching this, I didn't mean that. Anyways, there are days or even months where I get down and just want to lay in bed and do nothing. That's the biggest truth to it. I have flare-ups, and whenever I get a flare-up, all I want to do is just lay down, watch TV, scroll on my phone, just be a lazy bum. It's one of the major reasons I stopped going to public school. I struggled so much in public school because of it, and I was missing so many days of school because of it. That's one of the biggest reasons why I stopped going to public school. There is one other one, though, but I'm not going to talk about that one. It stops me from going outside. I'm scared that I'll have a flare-up in public. I know. It's embarrassing. There are days where I don't even do my homeschool. It's that bad. I just want to lay down. I don't want to sit up and work on my school. And I know it's not the best thing to do because, school is important. You need to get it done. And over the years, I have gotten better at managing it and getting through the pain, dieting, FODMAP diet. I've learned dietary changes that work. I work out more to keep things moving. I'm not just sitting down. There are days where, like I said, I just want to lay down. But even during those days, I do get up and I move around because that's pretty important. And I also learned meditation. Meditation's kind of a really good way to just like breathing techniques. It helps kind of whenever I'm having a flare-up. Overall, it's not as bad as it was years ago. I feel like I got semi-control of my life. Back then, I just felt like IBS was steering, and I was just like in the back seat. So now I feel like I have, like, my foot's on the pedal and one hand's on the steering wheel. So like I have a semi-control. And you know, I'm gonna be brutally honest. There were times in the past where it was so bad I just wished to die. Do I feel like that anymore? Nope. Never have. For almost 2 years now. Anyways, I'm making this video because I had a flare-up a couple of days ago. Vids will keep coming. Anyways, love y'all. Just want to say thank you for all the support on the videos. We're finally hit 200 subscribers. I appreciate that so much. And I know this video was a little bit different. I have recorded another video, so that will be up tomorrow, but just wanted to say thank you. And join the Discord, like, subscribe. More to come.